everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and I'm at Brick Rodeo in Sugar Land, Texas. We've got a massive LEGO Western collaborative layout. So I've got the first of the builders here. If you want to introduce yourself.
Matthew Green from Fort Worth.
Okay, and take us through your section here. You've got quite a lot going on.
Our section was the plains. We tried to do the Wild West from Wyoming all the way to Arizona. So I've got the plains around the Dakotas and Wyoming.
Okay. And of course, we've got a huge herd of bison, it looks like here.
Got a bison herd, about 110 bison herd. We've got a Sioux village over on the water. Got Devil's Tower in the background.
Okay. Some custom teepees that I'm seeing in here.
Yeah, LEGO did some great teepees, but they weren't really, the art wasn't right for the Dakota Sioux. So I got a book on the Dakota Sioux art and took the drawings directly from them.
Wow, that's super impressive. What types of materials, what did you use to make those?
Used canvas with some interfacing to give it some strength so it would be more like buffalo hide and stand up to the trials and tribulations of travel.
Yeah, and then using, is that the like 90s era Western minifigs or some of the newer ones? What era are those from?
Most of them are from the 96, 97 era.
Okay, yeah. And then, of course, this mountain here is very unique with the way that you've used the pieces there. So not the typical kind of rock work. What was your approach there?
Well, Devil's Tower is made of columns. So it was a volcanic mountain that was devised by tubes of lava that dried in this circular column format. So it's got a very distinct geological feel to it. And I tried to capture that. Did not want to go with the square bricks, so I couldn't capture it.
What pieces did you use for some of the kind of natural landscapes here around the area?
I wanted to get the flowing feel of the grassland, so I used brooms.
Oh, wow.
I was lucky enough for LEGO to let me buy a bunch of them. So did those, and then the other is just the regular 5-prong grass or flower stems to add color and variation to the landscape.
Now, before we carry on to the fort, I want to go around to the back real quick here. So we'll make our way around to the side, and then inside the mountain, there's actually a whole lot more going on here. So what is this?
Well, there's a tale in Dakota lore about 7 maidens that were chased by a magical bear. And this is how Devil's Tower was originally formed. The maidens prayed to the gods to save them. The gods started off raising a mound, then a hill, then finally the mountain. The magical bear became incensed, became huge with great talons, clawed the sides of the tower to get to the girls, and the gods sent a magical eagle, to pick the girls up and take them back to the stars to live with them. I didn't really think it was an eagle. I actually thought it was a spaceship. So we have an Earth station here where the aliens are studying this weird species called humanoids. And they sent people in, and you'll see most of them look like this, but then they dress in costume so they can blend in with the people. And throughout the build, you'll see the alien scientists studying the humanoids in their native attire.
I love that. Fantastic. So what was the planning process then? Was this kind of from the very beginning you wanted to make sure that you incorporated this into the back of the mountain?
When I went on a field trip up to Devil's Tower and to the Custer State Park area to get a feel for the landscape, I stopped by some of the Dakota native areas and heard the story and said, this is a great story. I can do something with this with LEGO.
Yeah, absolutely. We can also get a closer look at these trees back here then. So what are a couple of kind of the types of trees you've included here?
We've got birch and pine. There's some scrub, more just scrub plants.
And then there's kind of on its own this display down here. So you've got one of the rifles, and then it looks like, are these some of the books that some of the build was based on?
Yeah, some of the inspiration. I want to make them available for the kids so they can look at them. If I can ever get the kids to think about this kind of stuff when they hit the library or hit their school libraries, they might actually pull some history out and learn something.
There you go. Absolutely. We'll keep moving our way back down then. So we get over here and you start to see the fort and some of the cavalry. So take us through kind of this section.
We got 2 sections of cavalry. We've got the Buffalo Soldiers on the right side of the river, and they're tented in camps out on the tents. And then we've got the standard fort, the occupational soldiers that are located in a standard fort overwatching wagon trains as they move west.
Yeah. What was your approach with the fort here? I love to see the size of it, just kind of the higher walls and things. It looks very imposing.
Want to still keep the same feel for Fort LEGO Rodeo that LEGO did with the 96, 97 builds, but wanted to expand it to where it actually made more sense.
Yeah. And then what is some of the area around here then?
We got the corral where they keep the remounts and the road leading into town. And this is about where my majority of my contribution ends. The painted desert, the painted mountains, and our other builders.
Okay. And for the kind of the base plate landscaping with the water and just kind of the tans and stuff, what was your approach there? How big was each section there as you kind of put it together?
We came up with a standard for the roads and the water so that we have something to tie it together. So we followed the same 96, 97 base plates that LEGO did when they did with the dirt roads and did with the streams. The same type of 32 by 32 base, and then I transferred them because I build on 48 by 48s. I just build big. But I transferred them to 48 by 48 math so that everything would fit more together and it would look more like a seamless, cohesive build.
Yeah. Well, thanks for starting us off with this fantastic section of the layout here. We'll go on to our next builder then. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Jim Newsom.
Okay. And tell us about your section.
Well, I wanted something movement because I love movement. And what better than a river? And the mountains. I love painted mountains. And I wanted to do something different from the traditional smooth mountains. I wanted some rough texture, and that's what we have. And along with the other movement are the prairie dogs and the minion playing like a prairie dog. I love to do stories, and so we have the stagecoach that's been set on fire by the Indians, and the cowboys over here trying to protect the banker as he's stealing or taking away the safe to keep the monies from the Indian. And of course, one lady got stuck in the river.
What is the mechanism for the boats going?
It's actually a roller coaster chain, and of course, with the thinness of the mills, there's no working things underneath, which is where most movement comes from, is underneath. So, fortunately, LEGO last year came out with a Pac-Man set that had a chain piece with a bar that stuck up, which I was able to put in the hull of the canoe, and therefore they're running.
Yeah.
With one little motor behind, that's it.
And what are some of these other scenes up here then?
Well, now these are not mine, but this is from Back to the Future. And this is the Serendipity from Firefly, which is, of course, a Western alien series.
Lots of great references.
Yes.
Well, great work here.
Thank you much.
Thank you so much. And then we'll bring in the next builder. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Robert Clarity, and along with Matthew, I was kind of one of the coordinators for this whole thing, and so it actually turned out pretty well. We got about 12 or 13 people to just kind of all chip in and do a little bit here and there, or in some cases, a lot here and there. So my piece is the Ravine. So I had lots of grand plans for this ravine when I started out. The water was supposed to move, and my mechanism broke. My waterfall broke, and so my mine car is the only thing that still works. So I built the ravine. I built the box canyon. Got a little Star Wars references here and there. We've added a lot of Easter eggs across the whole thing, and I think that's what's made it fun for all of us. Is that this came together. Here, and all the coordination was all like Discord, and so everybody did an excellent job of doing their piece and putting it together, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love the train that's running through this section too.
Yeah, the Trestle Bridge is probably my favorite part of my ravine, because I got really sick and tired of tiling walls for the canyon, but and we even have a train wreck down there from another train that didn't quite make it. So, yeah,
well, great work here. Thank you. Bring in our next builder then, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Josh. I'm actually the mayor of the town of Brickton.
Okay.
So we actually have a nice, good layout of everything, a good mix. So my build is actually the hen house over there in the corner. Every fine town has to have a fine establishment to go to at the end of the day. But as far as like the builders, there's like 6 or 7 different builders. Most of these buildings are just filler. We have some fast food restaurants over here, a hotel, some shops. Of course, you have to have the church, the graveyard, the funeral, the mortuary home. Town is kind of circled around. Don't know what else to say. I'm going to pass it off to the Taco Bell designer right here, so he can speak about his section. So.
Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Donnie, and this is my daughter Penelope. We made the Taco Bell because every town needs a Taco Bell.
From a classier era when Taco Bell used to really have some culture to it.
Yes, exactly. And then we also did the mortuary and the graveyard. So.
Okay. What were some of your favorite elements and design process here with the build?
I think with the mortuary especially, it was just using the most random pieces you could find because we wanted the dilapidated look. So getting to use the brittle brown pieces was nice because the whole building's broken. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So and that was mostly all her. So.
Okay. Yeah. Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll come into our next builders then. So if you want to tell us your name and what you did.
Hello, I'm Eli, from now a current Fort Worth resident. So being a proud Fort Worthian, I had to build a historic Fort Worth stockyard starting in the back there. So these were, back in the day, post-Civil War, these were kind of the last stop of civilization on the Chisholm Trail. So a lot of the cowboys known as drovers who would move the cattle up to, before they got to Abilene, Kansas, would stop in Fort Worth for a nice hot meal before they got on their way. So this is just a small kind of portion of it. The real Fort Worth has a myriad of these type of pens. The important deal I wanted to have was these elevated platforms. They were critical as the cattlemen would get on top of those and help navigate with the dovers to make sure the cattle get out of the pens in a nice, proper, organized manner. So I was fortunate enough to be recognized as the Lone Star Award you see up top there. Pretty big honor as you see in the rest of this wonderful Wild West collab and across the entire convention here. A lot of great builds. It was an honor to kind of be recognized in that way. So also built stuff in front of it, so nice, fun little roadways, some Easter eggs, but had to add some movement, had to get a rodeo going for our display, and figured one of the best rodeo activities is bull riding. So we got it moving back and forth. It's a pretty simple mechanism, really. Single motor, dual belt drive. One's a horizontal piston to move the bull back and forth. One's a camshaft to move the rodeo clown up and down. So it's pretty simple, but a lot of fun. And typically it's supposed to last 8 seconds. I think minifigures have an advantage in this sport. They've been sticking on for hours, but it's all good fun. So to round out my section up front is it's the field of Texas wildflowers. Most prominently is the bluebonnets here. Go to hill country. They're beautiful. Texas state flower. But I had a couple other Texas flowers here. We got the firewheel, the red one. Pink evening primrose is one. Texas thistle. And then the last one is horse mint. So I'll leave it to the botanists, enthusiasts in the chat to help identify which is which, but rounded out the scene with a nice kind of homestead family enjoying a picnic out in the sun, playing with their dogs and enjoying the day. So,
yeah. Excellent work here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dorian from San Antonio. I brought the train for our tracks here, a 440 American engine, like the Jupiter that was at the Golden Spike when the continent was connected. I also brought one of the missions here, the Spanish mission. Being from San Antonio, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is based off of Mission Espada in the south of the city. It's still an active church today. It's one of the really, it's nice and small and I think really pretty. Also, it has an interior as well.
Very cool.
As well as some live oak trees and yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool, especially kind of inspired by a real life building. So I love that you have kind of the real life inspiration, but then you also have, there are like fun references to things all around here. So what are some of your favorites in this area?
So those are here from Shane behind me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, then we'll dive deeper into those. Thank you. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so I'm Shane, and this is my son Gavin, and we're Brick Family Fun out of El Paso, Texas, and we're here showing off our Obi-Wan Kenobi hut. It includes some Light My Bricks lights to show the hologram and the lightsaber, really kind of bring that scene to life, and it's been a real fan favorite. as well as the loot crate, and just sprinkling pieces of other stories throughout this area, because you don't know what draws people's attention. So I had a lot of fun adding those different nuances throughout both that build and then here, which is our primary build for this, is Shane's Ranch. And my kids were watching or listening to the book Shane, and they said, "Dad, we need to build a ranch for the Wild West Collaborative." And so I'm like, "Great, well, what are we going to call it?" Like, "Well, it's Shane's Ranch," even though Shane didn't own the ranch in the book, but we're not going to go into that. And so throughout this build has pieces of that story, traveling salesman, the lone gunman riding up into the wagon, as well as we have a miner pulling a golden brick out because everybody wonders where the golden bricks come from. And each square has a different story. The goal was to really draw out the attention. So the longer you look, the more you see. And the ranch itself is a basic farmhouse with some lights, a lighting up fireplace. And the barn, we wanted to make it look like it's a barn being constructed. So it has old and new planks, the wood mixture, so that it looks like it's a place that someone's been keeping up with. And this is my first attempt at putting motors in a build at this scale. And so I learned a lot. One of my chickens stopped hopping. I don't know why, and the horseman's no longer bucking his Bronco. But, when you're learning, that's part of it is let's practice it, let's figure it out. And it's just been a blast to be able to come here and do it with my kids and show off. It's such an awesome experience for us.
Yeah, I love the unique things like the Thor that we have up front here.
Yeah, the Thor was one we were sitting here thinking, what can we do to bring in Marvel? And I thought, well, when Thor's arriving, when I was playing with a lightsaber for Luke's hut, I thought, well, hey, we can get a couple more lightsabers and see if it works. And it works fantastic. I'm excited to see what it looks like when we turn the lights off, because back in my house, it lights up beautifully. So I'm hoping it really pops tonight.
Excellent work here. Thank you so much to you and all of the builders involved here. This is an incredible layout. Just a huge display here at Brick Rodeo this year. So really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been great. And one of the things that's incredible is we did this all through Discord. We actually never met. I had only met one other builder before we started doing this. So everything was done just off the cut. It's pretty crazy.
Even more impressive. So it's the first time all this has been together here and just kind of making it all come together into this really fun kind of seamless scene.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, thanks.